make sure you hit whatever button you do. Okay. So if you need to hit any button there, just accept that, that's great. So in terms of our session, so it's just that little reminder, you know, of choosing your intensity level. So up to a 7 out of 10 in terms of those stretch positions. But anywhere 5, 6, 7, you know your body, you're going to challenge it, but within a comfortable range. And then just making sure that you have to hand any pillows, blankets, bolsters. If you know that you like to add an extra challenge, sometimes blankets can add extra weight to the positions to help encourage you in. But also, like if you have sandbags, if you know that you like to go that little bit stronger, anything like that, that are going to weight you down, you have that option as well. But I want you to make sure you're respecting your body and you feel safe on the way through, so that hopefully comfort is your key thing. Okay. So in terms of our position, so if you have a candle or if you have an object to hand that you're going to be able to focus on, or a fire that you can stare at, I want you to get yourself into that comfortable position. Okay. So whatever that is for you, to sit in a comfortable space, and it could be cross-legged, it could be butterfly, soles of the feet together, knees falling wide. It could be on top of a cushion if it feels like for sitting for a few minutes that might get uncomfortable. Yeah, just totally go. Your comfort is the key thing. And then if you place the candle or the object, whatever you have, that is in front of you, so that as your head is just naturally resting there, it might just gently nod the chin to the chest and the eyes are going to fall onto the candle. Okay. Now, once you're there, again, I want you to keep this focus in mind of allowing everything that is outside of your room. It doesn't exist. You're in a cocoon. And within this cocoon, it's all about you. Find your comfort. Find your rested position. And just allow your gaze to focus on the candle. As you focus on the candle, you're focusing on the flame, or just generally the movement of what you see. And as you very well know, your mind is going to wander. And within our session, we will have points where I want you to focus. But I don't want you to think that it's bad if your mind wanders, that you're not able to do this, you're not able to meditate. I can't do this. That's all part of it. Sometimes we can be too focused. But as you focus on the candle or that object, I want you to notice things about it. The shapes, the details. Any movements. And as you notice these details, almost immersing yourself in the beauty of what you see, the simplicity of what you see. Absorbing yourself inside. Maybe even noticing that the vision around the candle, that may fade. Your peripheral vision may fade. Maybe you've even got to that stage where you have no visual awareness of anything but the flame. Becoming one with the flame. Trying to be as still as you can, keeping the eyes focused. That every time they move, it brings new information into your brain. So can you keep this focus just for a short time longer? Slowly allowing your eyes to gently close. And as your eyes are closed, you might notice color changes, movement. It's almost enjoying just what you see, what has been instilled in the brain. And then gently allowing your eyes to open. And I want you now, so if you have a safe place to set the candle so that you know if you happen to move or adjust it, yes, I'm not having to phone for the fire brigade. But just allow yourself, and if you need to blow it out, that's fine. But I want you to bring yourself into your Shavasana position. So to bring yourself into the most comfortable position on your back that you can. So lying down, using pillows, supports, whatever you need to make lying down your most comfortable and relaxed that you can. So this is setting up that after we use, whether it's poses or objects for a period of meditation, that you can allow a period of reflection. So these periods, these rebounds, I want you to be curious about what you experience. So once you're comfortable, you always have permission to have your eyes closed. Or if you feel that at times you want to keep your eyes open again, there's no right, there's no wrong. Trying to keep your body relaxed as you're focused, your aim. Those periods that we take to rest. Those periods of reflection. They build up information. And I want you to use that information for the best intention for yourself. Now, very slowly, we're going to start to bring you into our first position. So whatever way feels comfortable and graceful for yourself, we're going to slowly start to draw you up into a comfortable seat. So our first position, and I'll just mention, I have put everybody on to mute. So if you do want to have music turned up for the way through this, then you can. I generally recommend that it does stay like with no words or anything like that, and it's quite in the background so that it doesn't drown out your thoughts. I want you to know what's going on inside there. But certainly, if something in the background feels that it will help you to relax, then certainly you can have that playing. Okay, so we're going to take you into caterpillar first of all. So just a gentle position, but at the same time, I want you to use that idea, that notion again of the 5, 6, or 7 out of 10 in terms of the intensity. And I'm hoping that you can see me clearly enough. My red leggings, which stand out a little bit more, yeah, they had to go in the wash. So if you can't see me, just give me a big wave. But what I want you to focus on, in this position, you're in seated. If you feel like you're slouching around your back, I want you to put, maybe for example, it might be a blanket or something underneath your sit bones. So it creates a little shelf that you're going to tip off so that it starts to bring you into a more upright position. So I don't want you to feel like you're working hard to try to be upright. I want that to feel like that's naturally a better position for you to be in with the help of any aid that's possible. Now, depending, you can have your feet maybe around about the width of the mat for this one. And if that feels quite strong in the back of the legs, then you might not have to move too far. But this is where you're going to use support. So I have a bolster here, which is an easy thing to use. I'm just going to rest my forehead on. My hands resting palm up. And I'm just trying to let my body kind of settle into that. Again, maybe it's a stretch, the target areas up the back of the legs. Maybe you find that you're getting a stretch up through the back. If you're pretty flexible, you might be, for example, maybe with a pillow where you're folding and you're resting down, maybe with the head right down between the legs. But if you're somewhere in between, you could use pillows, anything to kind of stack up, blocks. You could put blocks in underneath. You know, if that raises you up enough that maybe you can rest in that position. But again, I want you to make sure that you feel whatever level that you're able to take it into, that there is a stretch up the back of the legs and that you can feel that your back is lengthening. This is a forward fold. And know that at any point, if you need to change, if you need to adapt, you can. That reminder that we're trying to keep our level around that 5, 6, or a 7 out of 10. And know that at times those positions can become little growers in terms of what you feel. The sensations may get stronger. And any time if the position results in that sensation getting too strong, adjust. If it feels like the sensation lessens and you want to keep that challenge, adjust. Recognizing that positions, we're targeting different areas, but every one of you is different. So those target areas of where this is aimed at, you might feel something different. But as long as with that level, you can try to be still. And you feel like you're supported enough that it allows you to drop in a little deeper if that's what you would like when you need to. Or if you know that you're at your limit and you don't want to go deeper, that your supports are holding you. They're holding you in comfort. Not striving. You're just holding yourself at that edge. Relaxing the arms, relaxing your head. Letting go of any tension in the legs. This session is all about you, your wellness, where your body is physically at. And our hopeful knock-on effect, where your mind is at. You're in your own body, experiencing this. Aware of the physical sensations, those feelings that arise from these poses. And those changes in sensation that can happen. And the only time that I would ask that you definitely need to adjust is if you feel anything sharp developing, any sharp pains that your body just says, this is not good, this is not right. If you're getting strong pins and needles, that's another one I would ask that you maybe draw back from. but otherwise give in and let go. You're also the observer of your own mind. To be with yourself is also to notice what those voices are like that are inside you. They don't define you. You're always in charge. And as your thoughts and those voices and what they say, they will come and go. And no matter what those voices stir within you, respond with no judgment. Allowing yourself only to sit with those positive voices. Sometimes when we are still, we might have a thought that might be worth acting on. And if it's positive, it's allowed within your bubble. Slowly starting to draw yourself out from that forward fold. And we're going to bring you into your rebound. So again, that's setting yourself up into your Shavasana position. So wherever that feels like it's the most comfortable space for you. Again, you can use any props that you need. And again, there's no right or wrong. If you feel there's a movement that your body needs to do, then let that happen. And again, if you aren't as overly familiar with yin, sometimes coming out of those poses can be quite hard work. So it's take your time and listen to your body. Just observing in your body as you're resting here that the changes that can be experienced after a pose. Maybe it's feeling more open, more rested, or again, sometimes those sensations can grow even as you leave the pose. slowly. We're going to keep you in that position, and you may need to adjust a little bit, but we're going to take you into your next position, which is banana asana, okay? And it's basically a side bend. Now, in this position, if you're able to see your screen, you don't have to move too far. But essentially, we're going to open up the right side of the waistline first of all. So we're going to be placing our feet towards the left side of the mat. But start with your body on the right side, and then move the feet over to the left, and then place the right leg on top of the left one. And if you feel from there that your legs are going to move, then whether it's blankets or anything again that you have that might have a little bit of weight, just set them on top of the legs to hold them in place. The next position would then be trying to shuffle your shoulders over to the left as well. And as you bring your shoulders over to the left, you are just making yourself into a banana, curved towards your left. So you could use a pillow underneath the head if that feels like it's a better place. And your head can be just whatever angle is comfortable. The arms can be down, or if you feel you want to add more of a challenge to lengthen the side body, you can bring them up as well. And you might find that if you feel like you're holding the arms in the air, that maybe putting either a block or a pillow underneath will support them so that they can rest. But again, alternatively, if you want to feel like you're pressing into the position more, maybe a blanket or something again that has a bit of weight behind it resting somewhere on the right arm on this side, that's going to be the one that has the most tension line. And just trying again to find that position where you are at the edge of that level of stretch that you feel is appropriate for you. You're lengthening the right side body. The left side body will shorten, but I don't want it to feel like it's compressed and uncomfortable. So it's finding length. Finding support to help keep you there. Finding support if you feel that you might drop deeper and if you don't want to. If the hips feel like they're twisting, you could even place a blanket or a bolster on top of them to keep them flat. I'm curious about the level that you feel. Knowing that at any point, again, if you feel that you want to deepen, you can. If you need to adjust, to soften, you can. But for the most part, if you can, be still. That target area is the low back, the outer hip, the side body, the ribs, and maybe even the arm if it's overhead. It's good to check in with yourself every so often to notice how you feel now. Recognizing that you had your own reasons for signing up to this session. Knowing the benefits that opening parts of the body can bring. Checking in with yourself to know, are you challenging your body in that way? If your intention is more for that headspace. Allow yourself to have that. Be with yourself. Be focused for a time. But allow your mind also to have time to wander. My only caution is that when your mind wanders, that you only let it go down a positive path. How do you feel now? For these last moments, do you add or do you just rest? Slowly starting to draw your arms down, adjusting your shoulders to come back over to the right side, releasing your top leg, and very slowly adjusting to bring your feet gently back to center. to bring us into that next rebound. Again, that reminder that it is normal to feel like you're about 90 sometimes after coming out of these long holds. So again, when you find your Shavasana to rest in, allow this little period of time for that reflection into what you feel. How your body has responded. How is the body feeling after lengthening that right side? Maybe you notice that one side of the body feels longer than the other. And it's good to compare from one side to the next. Again, it's all information to let you know where your body is currently. Meditating can certainly bring you into that space where you can feel what's comfortable and what's not in your body. It's all just useful information. Now slowly we're going to bring you over to the left side of your mat. And as you move over to the left side, we're then going to move our feet over to the right, trying to keep the hips flat. And again, you can use this side of the body could be different. So if you need to put anything on the hips to keep them flat, you could bring that left leg on top of the right. And again, if you need to use the support on the legs to keep them fixed. And then moving the shoulders over to the right as well. And you can choose again whether those arms are down, or if you want to add that challenge to bring them up, knowing that it's the left side this time that you're going to feel that stretch pulling up through the side body, the ribs, maybe into the shoulder. So either supports underneath the arms if they feel like they're just floating in the air, or using something to help press the shoulder or the arm down if you need that extra support. Finding that level of challenge for yourself. That you'll be able to be with. In meditation, we can discover that our bodies are uncomfortable. And we have to keep a check on them. So it's good to have this awareness, this physical awareness, and noticing those voices that give us this extra information. Very often with yoga, we know that we have a mind, and we recognize that we have a mind that we have to watch. They both come together. Observing our bodies from the inside and observing our mind and the thoughts that run through, which in turn can tap into our emotions, our feelings. We always have that choice. And for this point in time, we're staying with all those positives, not allowing anything that's negative to come inside our bubbles. When we delve into Yin Yoga and look closely at the activity in our mind, what we may notice is that there are some tendencies that emerge for us. We can run away from what is happening. We can try to change what is happening. We can stay and suffer through what is happening. Or we can accept and pay close attention to what is happening. Oftentimes, one of those tendencies will be dominant for us. We can soon realize that only one of these four options is truly wise. How do you feel now? Through our practice, where we can practice this almost advanced level of paying attention to our life. We also get an opportunity to notice what our habitual patterns of reactions are. Do we water the weeds or do we water the flowers? Are we constantly craving a different experience? Are we tuning into our yang energy and trying to change the experience? Or can we actually get on board with the yin challenge of sitting in the pose and bearing witness to the experience as it is and not as you would like it to be? No choosing, no preference, no fading, no hiding, no fixing. Just be. Slowly starting to draw your arms down, bringing your shoulders towards center, allowing the legs to release and gently moving them back to center. Coming into your rebound. Acknowledging how you feel. Noticing how this side of the body now feels. And again, maybe you notice that this side now feels longer. And slowly, we're going to start to bring you into your next pose. Now for this, we're going to be bringing you up into seated to position yourself. And I'm going to give you a choice for this one depending on how your body feels with it and what challenge that you want to add. So the next one is designed for targeting the inner thighs, but you might want not to go as strong as this. So in terms of frog pose, you will have the option of either frog or child's pose. So with this, either position that you're in, if you want to go to child's pose, I want you to place the knees quite wide on your mat and your toes together. So if you're taking child's pose, then again, it's bringing something in through here that you can fold deep at the hips and you can allow the body to be supported. So the tummy and the chest are supported. Otherwise, if you want to take it into frog, with that, you're going to have your focus, if you like, if you're going to really deepen this, is trying to get your pubic bone, the ribs, the tummy on the floor. And in this wide space, you're trying to keep the alignment of the hips and the knees in line. So you're not as far back as child's pose and you're not with the hips in front. So you're trying to create that straight line from knee to hip, but then you're lowering your pubic bone and the tummy to the floor. So depending on how deep you go, pillows, anything that you need to support the tummy and to support the upper body. So that again, when you find that level, that intensity that you want to go with, that again, those inner thighs are bringing that stretch in. And I want you to double check, are those hips in front of the knees or are they in that straight line with your knees in frog? If you're taking child's pose, you're trying just to allow that wide knee position, toes together, and the body to feel supported. But I still want this to feel like a challenge in some ways for you. The inner thighs may feel a stretch, around the hips may feel a stretch. And choose that level. Knowing at any point you could change. If this position grows on you, or if you find maybe even being deeper in child's pose that you want a little release, then you could always drift the hips forward to come closer to frog. But again, listen to your body and to that discovery. But I want you to feel that the tummy is supported so that your body can relax into this. Knowing that wherever you are, making sure that those knees are on something soft and comfortable. The time that we're here. If they're not, that might start to feel like that's a sensation that starts to overtake any other thoughts coming through your mind. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. The challenge of yin yoga, well, one of them, there are many, is acceptance of the whole experience just as it is. Through willing engagement with this practice, we can aspire to greater levels of wisdom and growth. Noticing where your body is at, the sensations that you feel. Allowing yourself to adjust, to grow, or just to be still. Stay only with the positive feeling in your body, that challenge, as well as that positive in your mind. they asked her, "How do you love yourself well?" She answered, "Make your well-being and healing a top priority. Have the courage to create boundaries that will support your flourishing. Listen closely to your intuition. Respect your need for rest. And connect with people who are emotionally mature. Being intentional with your life is loving yourself well. Slowly starting to draw your arms in as a position of support. In whatever way feels comfortable for you to draw yourself out slowly. And for a rebound here, permission is certainly to either stay on your tummy to lie down, or if you would prefer to come onto your back again, you can. But this Shavasana, you can take it in any position. Allow your body to open at the hips and to find that position of rest. Slowly, we're going to start to draw you into your next pose. So for this, we're going to bring you up into a seated position. So each position that we have done so far, because I know sometimes it's nice to know as a frame of reference how long you have been there for. But those poses so far, each one of them has been 8 minutes. Okay. So whether that feels like, whoa, that felt quicker than that, or whoa, that was a really long time, that's definitely a reflection of how strong you were making it if it felt like it was a really long time. But hopefully you're setting yourself the challenge at an appropriate level. But our next one that we're going to take it to is half saddle. Okay. Again, I know this can sometimes be a challenge. This one, it's not everybody's favorite. So if you know that you're pretty tight in the front of the hips, or target area is the quads and the hip flexors in the front of the thigh. So you may find that if you know you can't deepen into this position, you might actually need either, like if you've got a sofa handy or something like that, that you might actually be leaning your shoulders against that or a wall. But with this position, depending on how much support you need, you may need to have more to lie down on. So we're going to start with the right leg. The left leg is just straight out in front, left foot in front of left hip. The right leg then is coming in behind. So the knee is in front of the right knee is in front of the right hip. Your foot can be out to the side. So the foot can be pointing sideways, or it can be like straight in underneath, but it's just to the side of your hip. And then from there, so if you felt like going back and that felt pretty strong, you need something to support your shoulders so you're not going to be falling back, so you can completely relax into that. But if you know that you're able to go lower, maybe it's like a bolster in behind, or maybe you have a number of pillows, possibly at an incline, okay? And you could put blocks underneath pillows, that sort of thing. But if you know that you can take it that little bit deeper, you might be down on the floor as such. So you might decide that you don't need anything, maybe you just need a pillow. And I want you to get, no matter which version, what height, what angle that you're at, I want you to imagine that you're not trying to allow too much compression come into your lower back. So that feeling of a little tilt of the pelvis and trying to let it settle, but also encouraging length through your knee. If you feel like you need help with that, maybe it's placing, again, a weighted item on top of the hip, and then the stronger you need that to be, might be pressing closer towards the knee. But otherwise, then, yeah, whatever position you can get into, you're trying not to feel too twisted. On a single side, you will feel like you maybe roll a little bit, and that's okay. And again, whatever angle you need your body to at, I want you to feel like your back and your shoulders and your head are supported. Finding that level again, and this one's an important one to find at 5, 6, or 7, because I don't know, I think for most people this one's a grower. So whatever level you're in with it now, just recognize that it might increase on the way through, or the area that you feel the sensation in initially may change. But sometimes that's just a good one. It lets you know we're stretching into muscles that can then start to manifest out a little bit further and deeper in the body into the fascial tissues. But ultimately, again, I want this to be a supported challenge for you. Observing your body from the feelings that you feel inside. Sometimes when poses are more challenging, that's when you're going to notice more of a narrative inside your own mind. Can you be with that challenge? If that sensation is changing, just observe the changes. Can you be with the challenge? Are you able to be with it? Are your thoughts trying to fix or change anything? Are you letting your mind wander? And enjoying where it takes you? How do you feel now? What are you noticing on this side of your body? Slowly starting to maybe roll your body away from the bent leg a little bit so that it allows you some space to draw that leg into a straightened position. And we're going to bring you into your rebound again, just to allow that experience to be experienced in your body. So to let the body settle. So coming into your Shavasana again, letting your body rest fully in between to reset. Allow your body that time to release and explore what happens on the release. How are the sensations changing? What are you noticing on this side of the body? Now slowly, we're going to start to set you up onto your left side. So again, recognizing that this side might feel a little bit different. So it's, again, finding the appropriate level and position that will work on this left side. Again, fully supported at whatever angle you need your body to be at. And if you need anything across the hips to weight them down, or on the thigh, or if you want to deepen it, then a little bit more of a weight towards the knee. Find that appropriate level. Take the time to get it right for you. Maybe you're just taking that little moment to compare how this side is feeling compared to the other when you first started. Is this a position that you feel that you can be with? You can find a way to settle in and not feel like you have to change or fix anything. Just for now, without asking how, let yourself sink into stillness. Just for now, lay down the weight you so patiently bear upon your shoulders. Feel the earth receive you, and the infinite expanse of sky grow even wider as your awareness reaches up to meet it. Just for now, allow a wave of breath to enliven your experience. Breathe out whatever blocks you from the truth. Just for now, be boundless, free, awakened energy tingling in your hands and feet. Drink in the possibility of being who and what you really are. So fully alive that when you open your eyes, the world looks different. Newly born and vibrant. Just for now. Slowly starting to bring yourself away from that bent leg to allow the leg to straighten. Oh, I can see we're looking like we're about 90. So slowly take your time, and when you're ready, setting yourself back into your Shavasana. We're almost a group of lefties, I think, on tight hip flexors there. Okay, so find that comfortable space. Allowing this period again of reflection. Now slowly, we're going to start to draw you into our next position. Now this is also, it's a side body and outer hip stretch, but it's also a twist. So again, it's finding the level that feels appropriate, depending on what information your body gives you with this. So it's deer pose, and we're going to use possibly a few pillows. So if I get you to start with your left hip on the floor, and again, it might take a couple of pillows that you have or cushions to get them up at a little bit of a level with the top of your thigh. So once we're getting into the position for this, so the bottom leg is at about a right angle underneath with my hip to the pillow or the bolster. And then the top leg can be anywhere in here, maybe even drawing it back to knee level with the hip. When I come into this position, the legs can just adjust, but I want to try to see, can I get my chest bone onto the pillows for support. So you shouldn't feel like you're not supported in this. You need to have that support at a level where when you twist, that you feel that you can rest the tummy around the ribs down onto it. For a lesser movement, so with that left hip down, my head is looking to the right. That's the softer version. And depending on how your body feels and at what level of a wind up that you can bring your spine is, you might turn your head to the right, so it's looking away. But again, that creates quite a spiral up through your spine. So the left leg is down at that right angle. The bolster is at your hip. Let's see. So yeah, so with that left leg down, let's see, we'll pop you back into that one again. So the left leg is on the floor, and I'm kind of facing side onto my mat at the moment. So there's a right angle on that left leg, so that my shin is roughly flush with the long edge of my mat. And at the bottom, the top leg is bent somewhere back there. And I'm going to be turning to my left to lie down on my pillows. Okay. Yeah. That's it. Okay. So you should feel that you are twisting your upper body to the left. And then depending on whether your head is looking towards the right or whether you're able to turn the head on the pillows to look to the left, that will increase it. So again, find the level that feels like it's an appropriate level of twist for you. And at any point, if you feel that you want to change, and you can. Relaxing the hip that's on the floor. Relaxing the back leg. Relaxing, feeling length through your spine. Relaxing through your arms and through your neck. How does your body feel now? Slowly, if your head is turned to the left, allow it to turn to the right. And very slowly starting to press yourself up. And we're going to bring you into that Shavasana again. And remember, you have options if you would prefer to be on your tummy or on your back. You can choose wherever it feels like your body is telling you to go. Again, we're going to take that little time just to notice what has happened to your body through that pose and how your body has taken and absorbed it in. Now slowly starting to draw yourself up, and we're going to bring you onto that other side. So we're going to place the right hip on the floor against your pillows, your bolster, whatever you were using. And it's recognizing that your spine can turn one way really well, and maybe it doesn't turn as well the other way. So we don't know whether this one's your tight side or not. So maybe you already know, but again, set yourself up so that you've got yourself onto that right hip. Your body is going to be turning towards the right to bring your chest more to center. And again, as you get there, you can decide where that top leg wants to rest. And if your head is going to stay looking towards the left, or can the spine cope with the head turning to the right? Find your way into that appropriate level of challenge for you. Remembering our levels and that experience that you want you to have, or you want to challenge, but also to rest. Observing the differences from this side to the previous. the forest. One day when you wake up, you will find that you've become a forest. You've grown roots and found strength in them that no one thought you had. You have become stronger and more beautiful, full of life-giving qualities. You have learned to take all the negativity around you and turn it into oxygen for easy breathing. A host of wild creatures live inside you, and you call them stories. A variety of beautiful birds nest inside your mind, and you call them memories. You have become an incredible, self-sustaining thing of epic proportions. And you should be so proud of yourself, of how far you have come from the seeds of who you used to be. Allowing your head to turn to the left if it's to the right. And slowly allow your body to press up, to come into your Shavasana. Again, either on your tummy or on your back, allowing the spine to unwind and to find your way back to your center. Exploring how your body feels as you emerge from this one. How is the side feeling? And how does the body feel just overall? And as you observe that, allowing that little observation of any thoughts going through your mind. Maybe noticing how you're feeling right now, those feelings and emotions that sometimes can be stirred up through yin. Nice, slowly. We're going to bring you into, coming into our last pose, and I'm going to bring you onto your back for this one. It's the broken wing. Don't let the name put you off. But basically what we're going to be doing is lying down on your back, and your hand is going to be placed on your back. So depending on the arm, depending on your level of flexibility and how your shoulder is, so Jillian, just be careful with this one. But whenever you're placing your hand on your back, easier, softer is hand closer towards your pelvis. And then stronger is how far you can get your hand up your back. So basically with this one, when you get yourself lying down, roll onto your left side to bring the right hand up onto the back. You can start small and let the body roll to lie down on top of it. So your own body weight is supporting you on this one. And notice then whether you're able to relax the shoulder. Again, if that doesn't bring it to the right level of challenge for you, then you can roll away from that side. And again, try to slide the hand up further up your back. Again, to see if you can relax and let the shoulder go. The options with this, if you still want to use a pillow for the head, you can. The legs can be bent or straight. Can be in butterfly, they can be knees together and the feet wide on the mat. But again, whatever position you bring yourself in, this target area is focusing on the shoulder, on our rotators, on the chest, everything that surrounds the shoulder. Our last poses that we have been in have been 6 minutes. For this one, we are down to 4. Relaxing through your neck, through your shoulder, through your arm. Letting go of the whole body. As you're resting here, as you're allowing the body to melt into the pose and into the floor. Allow that little smile to acknowledge how far you have come this year. Recognizing that it is important to have these quiet times to allow your wonderful mind to wander. The more time you devote to letting your mind wander, the more creative you can be for helping your year ahead. With intentional but a wandering form of self-care. It's knowing that this will encourage more of your sparkle. Slowly, if your legs are in butterfly or anything other than both bent up or both straight, draw the legs in. And then slowly allowing your body to roll away from your right arm. And with this, we're not going to take an immediate rebound, but we are going to go straight on to your other side. So again, allowing the body to stay there, but to roll onto your right. Position that left hand on your low back. And again, if you need to do this as a tester, to roll back to see, is this a position that you can be with? Or do you need to readjust and allow that hand to creep higher? Allow the legs to rest wherever, even if that's a different position to previous. Comparing how this side feels to the other. And to move through that release of the head, the shoulder, the arms, Slowly starting to roll yourself away from that arm. Drawing the legs in for smooth movement. And as you free your arm, coming into this final Shavasana, allowing this period of reflection on this side. That time to release and to notice any changes. To compare to that other side. To just notice. Allowing your mind to release from any feelings that you have to do anything, from any thoughts that may be drifting through your mind. I want you just to take these final few moments to let your mind just wander. As we start to draw you back, just bring a little movement into your toes. Bring a little movement into your fingers. And slowly, in your own time, sliding one leg in towards you and then the other. And from here, if you feel that a hug of the knees is where your body needs to go, then allow that to happen, and maybe a little rock of the pelvis. Or if you prefer, just to bring yourself onto your side. And then slowly in your own time, and by whatever means is comfortable, to draw yourself up into a comfortable seated position. And as you find your way there, allow your hands to draw to your heart center. And it's just taking that little moment just to acknowledge that appreciation for what your body has been able to do for you again this evening, and for that ability to be consciously aware of sensations, awareness inside your body, as well as being able to be of sound mind to observe what's going on. So it's being thankful to your body and to your mind. Namaste. So I can't unmute you, but if you would like to unmute yourself, you can do. And I'm hoping that that felt relaxing, and I'm hoping that that felt good. I'm just going to pop you off record now. Okay.